The commander-in-chief right now is that North Korea is currently detaining an American college student. What would you do to get that college student back home?
Well, first of all, it's interesting that that happened literally days when this hostage release took place, but in Iran. A day or 2 days afterwards, North Korea held an American student hostage. I think it's when we send a signal of weakness, when we're negotiating to release people that committed crimes in our country for people that didn't commit crimes that are held hostage in Iran. We saw the shameful treatment of our sailors, that this creates weakness, sends a signal of weakness around the world. The next president of the United States is going to have to get back in the game, where the United States' word matters, where we back up our allies, where we don't send signals of weakness. We need to use every influence possible to get this student back. And I think John is right about this. There are crippling sanctions that are available as it relates to the 2 or 3 banks that North Korea uses to use its illicit trade. And we ought to reestablish those sanctions, not just because of this student, but because of their actions that they're taking right now as it relates to building this missile capability.
Governor Christie, I want to go to you on the same question.
Martha,
would you negotiate with North Korea?
No, let's make something very clear. I learned 7 years as a federal prosecutor in dealing with types of situations like we're talking about in North Korea, where criminals take people hostage. You never pay ransom to the criminals, ever. You never pay ransom to the criminals. Everyone out at home watching tonight understands that principle. And so what you need to do is to engage in a much different way with these folks. They do not understand anything but toughness and strength. And we need to engage the Chinese to deal with the North Koreans, but we also need to make sure that they understand there's a commander-in-chief who will not pay ransom for any hostage. This president and his former Secretary of State are for paying ransom for hostages. When you do that, you endanger even more Americans around the world to be the subject of this type of hostage-taking and illegal detention. You need a strong commander-in-chief who will look these folks in the eye and say, we will not put up with this, and we will take whatever actions we need to take, not only to get our people home safely, but to swiftly and surely punish those who believe they can violate the law and violate Americans' sovereign rights to travel the world freely and safely. This is unacceptable, and this is why this president is so weak, and why the Secretary of State, who's embracing a 3rd Barack Obama term, would be even weaker.
Thank you very much, Governor.